What?
Yeah, like I hit stream in Zoom and then it takes me to a Facebook landing page where I have to type a bunch of crap and then hit go live. And I think
You're
that,
live. Okay, so
okay,
do your thing.
do what thing?
Hi, hi, everybody. We're live. She's not an attorney, and I'm not an attorney. She's not a financial advisor. Well, you're down here for me. I guess you could be
Oh,
over there. I'm not sure. Or there.
you're down here for me.
Me and her
Me
or
and me,
her not
Sally and you.
licensed in law or financial advising. She is licensed as a realtor, and I am licensed as a loan originator. So we got
This
that
is
out of
true.
the way.
That's yes.
Sorry we're late. We had some awesome tech stuff.
Yes, and it's not even like high tech stuff. I'm literally using like my mini computer and I'm in Florida right now and it had to update. Like it was not working. So, my bad. Cheers though. Good morning.
Yeah. Happy Friday, everybody.
Yes, happy Friday. So for real estate stuff, yes, let's see. You did the cover your ass. So you wanted to talk about mortgage refinance stuff, which you guys
I
need to
did.
know. I messaged Cassandra yesterday, like, I need to
I think
refinance my
I have
house.
to refund out. Yes.
Yes. And I
So
still think I do because your scenario of just paying an extra $1,000 a month is not feasible for me.
so I just want to preface this. Refinance volume is insanely high. If you want to refinance, prepare to get in line, you and everybody else.
Yeah.
Is it worth doing? Maybe. So I say maybe. So we have a few little things. First off, if you were off during the pandemic, your year to date income is weird or slow because of the pandemic.
The
You might
global
have,
pandemic.
yes,
Sorry.
if you took advantage of the forbearance, you might have an issue refinancing. So there's some
Yes.
things there that may make it not viable for you at the moment. So call somebody and ask, can I refinance? Um, Secondly, it may not make sense. So it depends what your goal is. If you're trying to take cash out, obviously a fantastic time to refinance. If you are
That's
trying
called a cash
to,
out refi, right?
that's called the cash out refi, yes, where you take money out of the equity of your home. That is a great way to get money. And typically, you want to compare it to a HELOC or a home equity line of credit.
Which
Anyway,
is a second mortgage. Let's like dumb it down just in
yeah,
case, right? So cash
yes.
out refi is I owe $175,000 on my house and it is now worth $300,000. So I'm going to get a mortgage for $250,000 and put 75 in my pocket and start paying on my new mortgage.
Well, technically, you can only get a mortgage for 240,000 because it has to be at the maximum
Oh,
80% of the value of your home.
okay. Well, that's
So,
important. Okay, so I'm only
yeah.
putting $70,000. No, 60, $65,000. This is why I deal in the real estate and she
Our
deals
math
in the
is
math.
wonderful. I'm not going to correct your math.
No,
Okay.
I got there. It just took me a minute.
Okay. So that's when you take cash out. You walk away from closing with a check. 3 days
Yeah,
later, technically, because that's when it funds, but you walk away with cash.
yeah,
Great way to get money. Great way to tap into equity. Super low rate to borrow money.
yeah.
Awesome. Great way to get out of debt. Great way to, fund renovations, improvements, things like that.
Yeah, I have a question about that really quick. Is
Okay.
there a difference? Like, let's say I'm doing a cash out refi and I only have 20 years left on my mortgage. Is there a difference in the rate if I stay in a 20-year mortgage or if I go change it to a 30-year mortgage?
Yeah.
There is a difference in the rate.
There's a difference if you take cash out or don't. But yes, so typically a different loan term will give you a different interest rate. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10. They have different interest rates associated with them.
Okay.
Um, and there's obviously like credit score variables, loan size variables, things
Okay.
like that, loan to value. So you're going to want to check them all. So I hear from a lot of people who go, "Oh my God, rates are amazing. I want to refinance." So I'm
That
going to
was
give
me
you,
yesterday.
yes. So I'm going to give
This is
you a
no
real
joke.
world scenario. I could do me, and I don't know if it's sharing too much.
Do
So
me.
it is, and I texted you this. It is like I'm chasing a dragon. That's
Mm-hmm.
what it feels like. I
And you
will.
need to know, just for the people out there, I refined my house last year and
Yeah.
the year before.
Yeah,
So now here I am again going like, why wouldn't I?
I
But
should.
then I'm like, I already dropped, I don't know, let's say 7 or 8 grand to get to the mortgage that I'm in now. And now I'm going to spend another like 3 grand to get into another, I don't know.
Yes. So there's always a
That
cost
fluctuates a lot.
associated with
Yes.
refinancing. So I would caution people, what is your freaking goal and how long do you want to stay in the house?
Cash
Because
flow. For me, it's
so
cash flow.
for cash flow. So for me, we have a 30-year mortgage. We have refinanced 2 or 3 times since we've been here in 10 years. So we refinanced into a 30-year mortgage that we could have the lowest payment in the event of a horror show or the bottom dropping out.
Yep, catastrophic. I got no money, and
Yes,
now all I want to worry about is a $900 a month mortgage payment.
exactly. So that was our strategy when we did it. Now, I'm chasing the dragon because I go, oh my God, rates are so much better now than in March or February when we refinanced. I should probably do that. However, I caution myself and I use a tool called an amortization schedule.
Mhm.
I currently pay extra every month on the mortgage.
Yep.
So that is going to overall reduce my principal balance, which in turn will reduce the amount of interest I pay back over the life of the loan. I am on track to pay this house off in 9 years at the rate I'm going.
Mhm.
It does not make sense for me to refinance into a 15-year, even if the interest rate is 2% less. It fits like the actual real world numbers of what I'm doing, it doesn't make sense. So if my goal is to pay off the mortgage, it's a dumb move. There's no reason I should spend $2,000 or $3,000 to refinance because I'm already on track to do better.
Right. But in a scenario more like mine, if you needed that extra principal to be cash flowing somewhere else, then you're no longer paying down your principal.
Yes.
And then it might make sense. So
Right. It
like
might.
everything that we do, it depends on what
It
you're up
matters.
to, right?
Yeah, it totally
Yeah.
depends. But so
Circumstance.
just, I try to go over that with people. I get a lot of refinance questions, and
Mhm.
I literally just told a guy yesterday, like, dude, you're already paying, $217 extra per month. It does not make sense for you to refinance. Like, you are literally within 6 months of paying, if you stay on what you're doing right now
Yes.
versus he wanted to refinance into a 15-year at a lower rate, almost it was actually over 2 percentage points lower. But because he had already been paying extra on it, it did not really make sense for him to refinance into a 15-year. And don't get me wrong, I'll take your money if you want to refinance because I get paid every time you do it. But sometimes it just does not make sense. And I say this because I'm friends with a lot of loan officers, and there is this hype about interest rates are at an all-time low. Refinance now, don't miss out. Well, sometimes it just doesn't fucking make sense. That's all. It drives me nuts. Everyone thinks it makes sense, and sometimes it just doesn't.
Yeah. It's one of those things that at first blush, right? The carrot, the dangling carrot. Ooh. So it's like I don't know, like remember when they used to have newspapers?
Back in the day, didn't you have a newspaper route? I think you did.
I did when I was like 9. Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, I've been working for a long time. What was I going to say? Oh, and there'd be like a flyer, right? Come get this car for this amount of money. And you get there and that car doesn't make sense for you. That's what popped into my head when you were talking about the interest rates are so low, everybody needs to refinance. With the caveat that it might not actually make sense for your particular scenario. So you always got to look at your own scenario.
Yeah. So, and to be fair, we have got
buying a house is not a good idea for everybody.
Exactly. Well, there's a lot of people.
It's the American dream, but it's not the only American dream. Sorry.
Well, no, I was just going to, what was I going to say? It depends on what your goal is. If you are like me, we did a 30-year to get the lowest payment possible in case of an emergency. In case of an emergency. And I also, deep in my heart, have a side goal of getting rid of the mortgage, right? Sure. That's my side goal. But our primary goal was safety and security.
Ooh, sorry. There we go.
That's all right. So that was our primary goal, but many people have a different primary goal. It's not the lowest payment. It is, I swear to God, some people just want the lowest rate and will pay whatever dollar amounts just to
Right.
brag about their
I want
rate.
the lowest rate, even if it's going to
Exactly.
cost me $10,000
Yes.
today.
It doesn't make sense. You're going to have to die in the house. I want it,
Yes.
which is fine. But
that's very real, though. It's very real.
oh, it's super real.
This is like the same place that people try and negotiate their post closing or not post. They try and negotiate purchase terms from that same spot. Like I just want a dicker. Well, that's okay. We can do that. But
you're not in Tijuana buying a bracelet, dude. Like it's a house.
Right.
But yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to caution people with rates being, let's see, the lowest they've been in forever.
So can you see the comments? I just pulled up Facebook.
No.
So Maureen says, your favorite question. What are the rates currently?
Okay.
Question. Hold on. It's a trick question.
Wait. So this is my standard answer. Between the lowest I've seen is 1.999.
What?
Yep. And the highest I've seen is like 4.25. I'm just going to do that.
Yeah,
so,
I like that one better. So hold on, Maureen, the answer depends on so many things, right? Depends on the borrower and their scenario. And then each borrower has their free rate, but could also buy any of the other rates. And
yes.
Or get money back by going with a higher rate. That's still like buying a different rate, right? Did I get it right?
You got it right. Yes. I'm so happy because just so you all know, if you're still watching, Rachel said, can I refinance? What would my rate be? And I instinctively was like, this would be your rate. And I was like, oh, never mind. That's your free rate, but you could buy a lower rate or take a higher rate.
So Maureen has a follow-up question, which is, how do you get the lowest one? Have good debt to income ratios and high credit scores?
So debt to income ratio doesn't always reflect the interest rate. Have a good credit score over 740. And one of the sneaky things most people don't know is own 40% of your house. You'll get the best rate on the sheet. Ooh. And also, because the lender wants to make money, have a high loan balance. Your rate will be better.
What does that mean, have a high loan balance? Translate that. The other things I get, but
borrow more money.
Oh, any loans. So any loans? I'll borrow more money on the mortgage I'm taking out right now.
Yes. So
hold on. Let me just for the sake of everybody watching and my own self, if my house is worth $300,000 and I own it outright, or I'm buying it, and I only want a mortgage for $100,000, my rate will be higher than if I take out a loan for $200,000?
Yes.
So I should take out the $200,000 loan and then turn around and just pay $1,000 toward it after. Do I have to wait 6 months to do that or something?
No, you can do a recast immediately. You mean $100,000? So yes, if you really want to get into the weeds on things, if you want a $300,000 house and you want the best rate and you own it outright, do a $200,000 mortgage. Actually, you should own 40%, but do the highest loan amount you can to get the lowest rate. And right after closing, you can take the money you don't need, and turn around and pay your principal down.
$160,000, right? 340. Do the math. Damn it. Jim Green says just going to say under 60% LTV.
Yeah, $180,000. So $300,000. Yep, that's what I said. Own 40% of your house. So
hold on, that contradicts something else that I learned from you, which is about having a higher interest rate if I'm putting 20% down, because it's not there's no mortgage insurance on the loan. So which one wins? Are they both true?
They're both true. So, and I should drop the link. So there's something called a loan level price adjuster. this is the risk. It has to do with the risk of default. So
20 to 40%, hold on, 20 to 40% equity is kind of the worst place to be.
Well, actually, so I can show you where the worst equity to be is. It's 20%, you're losing the mortgage insurance, which is extra, which ensures that you're not, if you default, somebody else is going to pay. So the lender's like, I'll give you a great rate on if you don't own that much of your property, which seems dumb, but that's what the insurance policy does, right?
Yeah.
But if you put down straight 20%, if you put down 19.5%, you will have a better interest rate than if you put down 20%.
Yes. So,
once you own 40% of your property or have 60% equity, same thing, you get the best pricing because you're probably not going to default when you own that much of the house.
So like, just for this specific tight funnel of what we're talking about right now, that 20 to 40% range is kind of fucky.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like literally the only way they can get money from people who have money.
Yes.
Does that make sense?
Penalize you, kind of. It's the spot where they can, penalize maybe is not the word, but.
Yeah. So I'm looking at them. Okay. So the worst case is people with between 75 and 80%, 75.01 and 80.
The worst interest rate is 75 to 80% loan to value.
Well, let me try one more time. The worst interest rate is when you put less than 5% down. If you're doing a first-time home buyer and a 3% down, that adjuster it's on paper written as 0.75, and I'll actually put a snippet in 0.75, right? When you put 20% down, the adjuster's 0.5, so it drops a little bit. When you put 10% down, the adjuster's 0.25, 15% down, it's 0.25, 25% down, 0.25. So it's not the worst, but you will get better pricing by putting 5% down. And there's two reasons. One, the loan level price adjuster is less. So 5% down or 20% down, right? 5% down is going to have a better rate than 20% down for two reasons. The loan level price adjuster that Fannie Mae imposes, and I'm getting into the weeds. The other one is because you're taking out more money.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and so things for people to keep track of though, too. If you're purely rate driven shopping, you may go, cool, well, I'll just put 5% down or 4% down. But guess what? Your payment changes because you now have mortgage insurance in your payment.
Yep.
So which thing are you going to manage to? Well, the answer probably depends on how long you're going to be in the house. Because eventually that mortgage insurance could fall off and your rate can't change. So you captured this low rate today. Whoa, I'm wrong. Look at
no, you're right. No, you're right. So there is some people may call it. Go ahead.
Nobody's going to be in their house that long. That's all I was going to say.
So there is this little exploitive trick that I have used. Are you ready?
Yes.
It's totally legal.
We got more questions too. I got to read.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
No. I want to know your trick now.
Okay. So I have somebody who has 20% down and they don't want mortgage insurance, but they don't like the rate that comes with it because of, right, they want the best rate.
Well,
so it's structured. Yep. So we structure it so they're putting 10% down or 15% down because they have the money. So say you have the money, 10 or 15% down, you look at the monthly mortgage insurance to determine, right? Either option's fine. You close on the loan, you get the best rate because your loan amount's higher and the best rate because you're not putting 20% down, which sounds counterintuitive, but it's true. But oh my God, Cassandra, I have to pay mortgage insurance. Well, after closing, you make 3 payments, paying your mortgage insurance and your house on time. And then after you've made the 3rd payment, you cut a check for that extra 10% down or 5% down so that you own 20% of the home. The mortgage insurance goes away completely.
Cut it off your principal.
Exactly, because you'd reduced your principal. And that's called a recast. So it sounds like a dirty trick, but I'm telling you, it's no worse than filing taxes according to
the rules.
According to the rules. So this is totally legit, and I do it a lot, but some people think it's sneaky, but I just think it's smart.
So Maureen one of her questions, one of her follow-up questions was when we were talking about recasting earlier, she said that won't lower your payment by recasting,
Yes,
but
it
it
will.
will if,
So,
well, is recasting, specifically the definition of recasting is making that additional principal payment to put your ownership levels at, who determines the value of the property? I guess if it's something you just bought, you have the appraisal from the purchase and that's the value they're using.
okay. So a recast is totally allowed.
Like
Not all
telephone.
lenders will do it, but it's allowed by the agent, by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. A
Okay.
recast is specifically not just me writing extra towards principal every month. That's different.
Yeah.
A recast is where I say, here's a giant chunk of money, typically at least $10,000. Here's a huge chunk of money. Please lower my monthly payment going forward. It's almost like re-amortizing.
Yeah. Do you have
And
to
you
call them
can,
and ask for that, or does it happen
there is a
automatically?
special form, and you usually pay $150 for it. But I got to tell you, paying $150 for a recast plus paying 3 months of mortgage insurance to save a 0.5% on your interest rate is way cheaper. It's
Yeah.
way cheaper. It's even cheaper than buying the interest rate,
Oh my
at
God.
closing.
Okay, so now my question from yesterday about refinancing my house, I just want to refinance the portion that puts me at the 60%.
Yes.
I like, seriously, can you run those numbers for me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do you want a 30-year?
Yeah, because I can always throw extra money at it.
Or do you want me to just match your current payment and do like a specific, 18-year or whatever?
Yeah, let's just do the scenarios.
Okay.
You guys know how that turns out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm done yammering.
Yeah.
Unless anybody has more refinance questions. Literally, if your loan officer doesn't do some analysis to see if it makes sense,
You can, it's
call
really
for a
like,
second opinion. It
and I
might
would,
not.
I would say do some soul searching for yourself about what's driving the decision. It'll help you make better decisions and keep you from doing what I do to my loan officer, which is run all the scenarios. But what if I put an extra $5 down, Cassandra? Then what happens to my payment?
I know, it's super fun.
You're
It's
going to hate
super
me.
fun.
I'm sitting here drinking this coffee. I have got to pee so bad. Can you talk about something for like, I'll be back in less than a minute. Cassandra, you're up.
Okay. So can I tell you that she puts me up to run to the bathroom in the hotel? I've already been talking for like 30 minutes. I mean, she's pretty good about asking questions. Oh, I know what I can talk about. I can talk about housing starts maybe, or the cost of lumber. But neither of those things seem very interesting to me because I just do numbers all day. Anyway, yeah, so I really have nothing to talk about and feel pretty on the spot. And I'm just waiting for her to get out. I think she's going to talk about purchase contracts, maybe how people get to their listing price or sales price. I know there's not enough houses on the market, but maybe she can speak to that. Maybe.
Okay, what I miss?
Nothing. Go ahead, talk about what you were going to talk about.
I have to go back and watch. You're not going to tell me?
You are. There's literally nothing. Go ahead.
Okay, it looks like I'm in a prison cell. Okay, I was just going to give a general market update and then share it like this. Talk about getting in the weeds. Okay, so I looked this morning for Livingston County, Michigan, and total there are 401 homes on the market. That includes rentals. That includes new builds where the ground has not been broken yet, across all price ranges in the entire county.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I was doing market analysis for a client getting ready to list their property last week. And so I started really digging deep into some of the different charts and stuff. And of course, I don't have them to share with you, but it's insanity right now. Houses, compared to last year, the number of houses on the market is down so drastically. And you can almost see prices rising right in conjunction with the reduction in listings. And it's insane. So yeah, and I feel like a broken record, because what I would have said is, if you have, what everybody in my county wants is a 3-bedroom, 2 minimum bath ranch with a walkout and a little bit of property and a outbuilding or the ability to put one in. Like that's what everybody says they want. And that's
10,
usually what
15 years ago I could find it. That's what you have, dude.
I know. I got lucky. I stumbled into that, like even a blind squirrel gets a nut every now and then. Like it's not what I was looking for, but set that aside. Now I would say, like, if you have anything that you think you might maybe want to sell, now, like, put that damn thing on the market, because I feel like I want to tell people is you're kind of being selfish if you've got it to sell and you're not selling it. Like, why not? Why are you holding on to it? All these poor buyers can't find houses. But on the flip side, I've got, like, you still have to, I don't know. I struggle because I don't want to tell people what to do, but like, clean your fucking house. You got to clean it. You still have to, like, make sure that the appliances work. Like, I'm seeing some crazy shit. Properties with appliances stuffed into the slot that don't even, like, an electric stove in a gas stove slot, and it's not hooked up or anything. It's just there for pictures.
That's one way to do it.
People are still going to do an inspection. They're going to find the things. And just because you're the only game in town doesn't mean you can sell your house like a total turd. But then in the next breath, yeah, you kind of can. So it's madness out there right now. 401 properties total, including rentals and not even ground broken yet. It's a really low number.
Well, I will tell you, if anybody's not sure about selling or is like dreading the process, almost everybody who's buying is really qualified because they've had to have kept working through the pandemic, right? They typically have assets saved up. I mean, and many of them are paying cash. I don't know about you, but like there's a lot of cash buyers out there too. You know who's getting left behind is a lot of first-time home buyers. They're already kind of hosed because of like student loans, and they already have qualification issues there. So I feel really bad for first-time home buyers, and they're getting older and older. Obviously, I'm not talking about 20-year-olds. I'm talking about 30-year-olds. I mean, many of them are basically hosed.
Yeah, that's about for the right age, and they're getting outbid. But I will tell you, buyers are getting fatigued on having to bid multiple times on multiple houses and lose, and then they win one, and then they do an inspection and find all of this shit wrong with the house. I am seeing more people walk away from next to nothing on home inspections than ever in my career. Because sellers are, and I shouldn't say, like, sellers aren't bad guys. It's not like sellers are demanding these high prices. It's like the market is bearing these astronomical sale prices for houses that are not in great condition. I guess talking through it, if you can have the condition to match the price that you're getting, you're probably more likely to close. Yes.
But I would suggest that, just as a thought, is this the new normal? Do people believe these prices are outrageous? But who's to say, like, next year
they're not.
What you refuse to buy wouldn't be worth more. Builders can't build fast enough. There's a ton. People are living longer. They're not dying. We've talked about this. Like,
you know what the price of materials is doing right now? Good luck building a house. I think my house right now would be triple what I paid for it to build.
So
now I'm in
interesting. When I get insurance policies for people who are buying a house, the minimum coverage is the loan amount. The replacement cost is also listed. Is most. So say I have $100,000 loan. The minimum coverage I need is $100,000. Good luck finding an insurance company that will write it for $100,000. They're going to do what's called a replacement cost using a replacement cost estimator. And Joel, where are you? So it's not going to be $100,000 if you got. It's going to be $200,000 because. It's going to cost that much to build it.
2x4 is now $17 for one. I mean, I'm making up that number, but maybe I'm not.
But so builders are, well, my boss, she works for a builder. They just did a line item dollar amount increase across all of the new constructions because the cost, they were like, we can't absorb the cost of labor. Just tack on this dollar amount to every house.
Yes.
So,
That's
I
whacked
mean,
everybody.
hi, Nash. Yeah. But anyway,
Yeah.
so if you're sitting on the fence thinking this is too much, I've looked at 10 houses, I put out 9 bids, I walked away because they want too, I'm going to do this, they want too much money. I'm just going to play devil's advocate. They want too much money for that house that was only worth 150 last year and they want 200 for it and they didn't do anything.
Oh my God.
What makes it's not going to be worth 200 next year? 250.
Can we stop? That is one of the most common pitfalls I see with my buyers. Less now than in the past few years, but buyers really like to look at Zillow and look at the house history and get tied up in, well, they only paid this much for it last year.
Oh yeah.
So dude, you don't know what you don't, the market was different last year. You have no idea the condition of the house. It could have been full of cat pee or flea infested. They maybe, you have no idea.
Sure.
And it's none of your business. I hate to say that, but it's really none of your business. Oh, always the relationship analogies, right? Like, I don't know, your partner's prior relationships are none of your fucking business. That's like what I feel like with the houses.
They made them who you are today, so you take it and you move forward.
Well, the thing is, you can't buy or sell a house in a market other than the one you're in. Like, you just can't do it. So it doesn't matter what it sold for in 2005. It doesn't matter what it sold for in 2019. What it matters is what's happening now and do you want it? And will it appraise? I mean, oh my God, we're kind of all over the map here. And this is not what I came here to talk about, but I like it.
This isn't what I came here for.
That's not what I came here for. No.
Well, I'm sorry I rabbit hole just because I can only imagine trying to show buyers and hearing, well, this house, I mean, I was looking at houses like this and they were $30,000 less last year. Well, you should have bought last year. I mean, you can't do that.
But your interest rate was higher. No, but it's important.
You could have refinanced.
It's important for people to understand. For real. I just was talking with a client today about post-inspection and if the seller doesn't do what she wants, she's walking away. And I'm like, she's like, because if I have to fix those things, I don't know if it'll be worth that in the future. Well, guess what? No matter what you buy, there's no guarantee it's going to be worth anything. And, walls, roofs, furnace, air conditioner, and appliances do not add any fucking value. You might get more sizzle and jazz if you put in top of the line all of those things, but it's not like people expect there to be a roof on the fucking house.
Yeah.
It does not add a single dime.
All I think is the Chris Rock where he's like, you're supposed to pay for your kids. Like, it's the bare fucking minimum.
You
furnace.
Brag that I've never been to jail. Like that.
Yeah. It's not supposed to be a thing. You don't get an award.
Let's go look at
I'll
this
make
new
you an
house.
award, Rachel.
Can we go look at this house? This one has a roof, Cassandra.
Whoa. Yeah.
I'll pay extra for that. No, it's not how it works. Anyway, what did you say? I talked right over you.
Nothing.
Yes, you did.
I don't remember.
Okay. All right. What
anyway, don't get too caught up in what you think the house is worth. Just be prepared to pay what the market states the house is worth.
Yeah.
And trust your realtor because people are mentally, very emotionally attached. And your realtor wants to help, but can look at the numbers critically and analyze them and go, yeah, it's worth that. Here, there's only 400 houses, and that includes houses that aren't built in every rental.
And let's talk about, is the house worth that? Like, you are part of that definition. So if you, oh my God, I feel like a snake eating its own.
Look at how annoyed she looks today.
I'm not annoyed. I get really tied up in finding the just right language to articulate what I'm trying to say. And I really like, for your own sanity, just find the one that you want and let someone help you get it. And I like to guide my clients through finding their walkaway number right out the gate, because the more back and forth you have in any negotiation, the more likely it is to fall apart anyway, because people start getting emotional. They don't think they are. They don't want, nobody's going to tell you that they are buying a house because it makes them feel like a kid again or whatever emotions it's triggering, but that's what's happening. It feels like home somewhere.
Right.
Anyway. I feel like I'm being a little yelly because it's frustrating. It's frustrating when my client, when I get to see someone light the fuck up because they walk in and they go, oh, this is the one. And then they go and get wrapped around the axle in their head about, is it worth it? Da, da, da. I don't want to get taken advantage of. I'm going to get fucked over. Like everybody's so worried about getting fucked over
Oh,
that they don't get what they want either.
dude, I do not have many clients, or I do not get the perception from many clients that they feel like that. I do have a client now who is giving me that feeling, and I basically, I did not fire her, but I said, I will cancel your file. Let me know where to send it. You don't seem to be very happy. You think, you think I'm out to get you. She basically thinks I'm out to get her, take
Right.
advantage of her. She
Right.
didn't use a realtor. Is the house worth it? I'm not sure if it's worth it. I don't fucking know. I'm not a realtor. I said, here's what I can do this, but like, anyway, so she's trying to go it alone. She
Well,
thinks
are you willing to pay that? And are other people willing to pay that? If so, you're in the right fucking neighborhood for value.
Right.
I
So
mean,
she's like, it's kind of this, but there's all these things that need to happen, which
that's
I
my
don't know.
favorite.
Like,
Do all those
I
things, and how much is that house
this is
now?
exactly. So I can't do what you do because it's not my fucking job, and I'm not going to try to be a realtor. Like, if you came to the agreement at that purchase price and now you're second guessing it, she's literally losing sleep. I was just trying to go, did you want me to send it somewhere else? You don't seem happy. I don't want you to have a unhappy experience, but it seems like you think I'm not on your team, and I am.
Yeah.
I can't answer these questions for you because you didn't hire a professional who does answer those. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you
I
know what
just
it's
fell back
like?
to
Because people do the same.
it's exhausting.
People come to me for mortgage information and advice and guidance in the process too, and I always point them back to my real estate or to my loan officer, to the loan
Imagine if
officer,
there was
their
no
loan
loan
officer.
officer to send them back to.
And that's what you just said, something that made me think it's kind of like asking the clerk at the courthouse for legal advice. Like they're just there to file your paper. Their job
They're
is
just
not to be,
notarizing.
so
Yeah.
you can't, I don't know, you can't have an attorney unless you fucking hire an attorney. Right? Like you can't
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I know. I ultimately told her, as small solace, the appraiser will not allow you to overpay for this home if that's your primary concern. Like, there are some stopgaps in place, but other than that, like, you realtors do so much mental, spiritual calming that I just do not have in my wheelhouse, which is why I do not do what you do. I know you guys bring the zen and go, you calm people right down. So when people don't have a realtor and I'm over there trying to help, I'm like, I don't fucking know. I mean, is it worth it to you? I just do the money part. And it's not that I don't care. I obviously do, but like,
no, but if you're doing all of the other things.
Yeah, I think I probably got a little more offended than I need to, because I'm not out to screw anybody over. I tell people, no, it's not worth it all the time to refinance. I'm not out for the paycheck. If I was, I'd work at Quicken or something and just have leads delivered to me, and, just be a headset jockey and not care. And yes, I said it, whatever. But I'm not out for just the money. Right. So it's frustrating to be not accused of that, but
you're not out to just line your own pockets. No.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. And I would have been fine if she had decided to go.
What did she decide to do?
No, you already started it. It's fine. And I'm like, well, you're not getting that interest rate. We're out of underwriting in 2 days. I'm literally waiting on the appraisal. I mean, from 4 days start to finish. Yeah. I care. I set the stuff up right. But anyway, I'm just griping.
Yeah, no, I feel you. The struggle is real. Yeah, it's hard to wrap up when I feel like I didn't have a message to deliver. But the market needs your property. The market needs your property. The market needs your property. People need places to live. And yeah. You got anything else, Cassandra? Sell now. That's right.
Is that right?
Yes.
And I was going to write refinance now, maybe.
Do that.
Nah, it's fine.
All right. So let's
But
do
I'll
this
put a
one.
link to the loan
Yeah.
level price adjuster so you can go look. It's pretty easy to read. It's just a chart, and yeah.
Oh yeah, and you're gonna do, I need to own 60%. Is that based on my last appraisal value or SEV, double my SEV? What do we use for that number?
Well,
Seriously.
do you want to talk about appraisal waivers? I don't think we have time to go in that rabbit hole. It's
Oh,
whatever. So generally, in your case, I would put in a fake number of what I think your house is worth and do a loan for 60% of that to see if I can get an appraisal waiver. And then just do the loan that way without an appraisal.
okay, I can easily do that. All right,
Or
I'm gonna,
you could maybe call a realtor and give me an idea of what your home is worth.
I know what it would sell for, but I also know what my SEV is, and I also know what my last appraisal said, but
We
okay.
got a waiver on your last one.
Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, thank you. We'll let you know how my refinance goes.
Next
I'll see you
week.
tomorrow. Yes.
All right. Tomorrow. Love you.
I love you too. Bye.
Bye.